What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of the rebuild of my GSXR 750. Today we're going to be installing the rear fairings along with the brake light and turn signals. So this whole rebuild is sponsored by Fairings. They are supplying all the fairings to put my bike back together. If you check it out right over here, this is it. So this is mostly going to be the front fairings that's on the ground right now. I've already been toying around with those just a little bit. But today we're going to be doing the rear section. So this is from my wrecked GSXR 750. Quite a few parts. Still not really quite together. But here's the right side. You can see the light got scuffed up. That got messed up pretty bad. It held up for the most part, but obviously some parts were broken and can't replace that. So this is the rear section, split right there. The entire back end broke off. The brake light, something fell out of the brake light. So yeah, you can see the bike is pretty trashed right now. Was pretty trashed. When we put this baby back together, it's gonna be minty. So let's go ahead and get started on the back. I've already put this back under piece right here on. This is just, they did supply this as well. They didn't supply just the fairings, they supplied the back piece underneath also. So I went ahead and did that because I had to readjust my tag bracket for my tag. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on this. We are gonna put I've already installed the brake light into this section right here. This section is gonna go right here. But as we're lining it all up, we gotta make sure that we're plugging in things as we go, because the brake light is actually it's right here. Super simple. So this is the turn signals. I have the license plate light taped off because I don't use that. So
because we don't ride at night, you should have one if you ride at night.
If you ride at night, you should have one, but we don't ever ride at night. So
Dear.
Here is the tail light. So I have yet to even test that. So let's go ahead and make sure that works, because I did buy this tail light off of eBay. It was off of a wrecked bike. So we got a brake light. Oh, we got a brake light.
Yes, very nice.
Sweet. All right, so we know that's good. So we can go ahead and like semi-mount this. We're just gonna take these little plastic grommets right here, stick these in there. We're gonna actually use the bolts that they supplied to fasten this down. And I'm kind of just gonna hand tighten it right now. We've also got these two bolts right here. And this is basically what holds this section in place, these 4 bolts right here. I'm just gonna kind of hand tighten them. You do not want to cross thread these. This is your actual subframe you're screwing into. So definitely don't want to cross thread this. So she's coming along. You know, this is part 2. It's gonna be a 3-part series. I'm pretty stoked. Part 3 is going to be like when it all like really comes together. So one thing I'm going to show you guys real quick. Here's a little tip. If you ever have to put together a GSXR 750 or a 600, I'm not sure about the 1000s, but let me just show you a little trick real quick. These things are notorious. Years ago, come around here real quick. These things are notorious years ago for this piece right here snaps into here. These things are notorious for unpopping themselves and unclipping. So they'll be like this. especially if you do wheelies or go over a curb or anything like that, that kind of jolts the bike, those things will come on clip. So what I do is I take a little piece of 3M or Gorilla Tape and I'll just stick it right back here on this back side, and then I will be able to stick it to this, and then I'll press up like this, and when I do, it'll hold it in place even more so than it normally would. So I'll go ahead and do that now. What you doing?
He asked how his hair was. I think his hair looks great.
How's my hair look, guys?
Looks great.
Awesome.
I cut this
I've been
hair.
at this all day.
Yeah. And he's
It's
been
been
the
a
same
long
clothes
day.
he
Same
was in for all the
clothes.
other
Part
videos
one,
because this is the
two.
very same day.
Yes.
Don't judge.
I'm not gonna be able to finish it today, but I'm gonna get pretty close. So there's the 3M tape right there, or it's actually Gorilla Tape, but the same thing. So I'll just stick it right back there, and then once I snap this in right here, I will press that. I mean, put some pressure on there, guys. Lots of pressure.
Lots of pressure.
And I'll
Lots of
show
pressure.
you, actually, on maybe on the stock one. Here's mine from 5 years ago. So it has Velcro on it, and I still put 3M tape underneath the Velcro. I think they do have Velcro stock, but still it unsnaps itself, and it doesn't really do its job. So I always put the 3M tape on there. I've done the same thing on her bike, and hers I think has come undone like once or twice.
Yeah.
And that's in 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years she's had this bike, 2017 GSXR 750. Mine's a 2015. But she's gonna look like one of a kind when we get done with her. This will legitimately be the only bike I've ever seen in this color of this year.
Yeah, true custom.
So,
One of a kind.
lots of pressing because you want that to stay on there. So now you can look at it.
You were
Look how clean
like
it
dancing
looks.
with it.
Look how clean it looks.
Very clean, yes.
Coming along. So now we got a right turn signal here, we got a left turn signal here. So as you're working this fairings onto the sides, you're gonna be having to make sure you plug those in before you do it. Because if you put it on there and you don't plug it in, you're gonna have a problem. So we'll start with the right side first, because this is gonna be a little bit easier, hopefully. I say that, and it actually happens. So we'll plug that in, upside down. All right, turn the bike on, and then turn my right signal on. Whoa! Blinding. All right, we got lights. It's flashing because we have no turn signals in the front right now. So as you go in here, you're gonna have to kind of get these grooves in there all at the same time. So this is gonna pop into here, right here, and then you're gonna have to make sure all this is lining up at the same time, because there's quite a few things that have to, and this one right here, the front and the back, actually snaps, it goes in and then you push it back. So you can see it's kind of like a hook right there. So you'll push in and then you'll go back, but all these other things have to be lined up at the same time. So, as well as the bottom.
I can try to push down.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting everything in line as you snap it in. And I think I got it that time. I think I can.
I think you can.
So now we can throw that bolt back in. Looks like everything's lined up.
It's like the salty wrenching series.
This is what I was talking about. So there's a tab here, there's a tab here you can't see, and then there's a tab here that lines up with this. So as you're putting all this on, you have to make sure these 3 tabs are lined up, as well as those 4 top tabs. So 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, it's a lot at one time.
and 4 here. So yeah, it's just a lot of basically finesse work, because you have to take your time and make sure you're putting everything in correctly. The reason I said this side was going to be a little bit more of a pain is because this one has the key release that, I'm sorry, the rear seat release. So I had to take it off my bike, obviously because I wanted to have the same key. Put it on this bike. So I installed that already. Installed the turn signal as well. And then this is the cable. And all this really does is when you put your key in here, you turn it, and this kicks this back this way, and it pulls the cable, and it releases these little pins right here, and then it releases your rear seat, or rear seat cowl, whichever you have. So, all right, so now we're gonna go ahead and let's just check this, make sure we got lights. Go ahead.
Is my rear seat cowl gone because you had to compare?
Yes, I've been looking at her bike, making sure I do this right. So, along the way, it's very convenient to have two of the same bikes. So, all right, we got lights. Again, flashing fast because
No
LED,
relay.
no brake light, no turn signals in the front. So, all right, so what's nice about this is that you have all this room in here. So, like this wiring, you don't have to worry about it too much. It can kind of just hang in there and do its thing. So now we got this cable. I'm gonna have it feed it up through here. And all this really does is this little ball right here just sits in like so, and then you pull it this way, and then you push it in, boom, you're done. Super simple. It's funny because a lot of people think that like motorcycles are so complicated, and they're really not. Like the majority of things on bikes are very simple, and if you just take your time, you can learn to do these things. Gooby boy. All right. So we had to change the GoPro battery out real quick. So now we're on to the left side fairing. That's all hooked up, good to go. So now we're just gonna play the same game of trying to line everything up all at the same time again. So much fun.
You can tell Max is really enjoying this.
He's exhausted. He's like, is this guy ever gonna stop playing with this thing? Alright, so I just gotta line my bottom tabs up at the same time.
Hang on. Hang on. It's hard to do while filming. Okay, you're good up here.
Bottom's pretty good. This one's right up. Trust me, it's even harder by yourself. It's not like it's hard. It's just a matter of.
It's tricky.
Yes.
It's really getting.
I messed up the main part because that part is
Is
the
it
one.
6 or 7 pieces that all have to get lined up?
It's like 8. 4 up top and 4 on the bottom.
Yeah.
Technically, it's like 3 on the bottom. The one kind of always lines itself up. How are we looking?
Good up here.
That's it. She's in.
It's new home.
It's new. Actually, this is the OEM bolt. I just used it because it was already in there.
So
One of the few things that survived on the bike.
the OEM bolt.
The OEM bolt. Yep. Fairings all from Marts. Can't take credit for that. Phenomenal job too. I'm loving this silver.
And it's molded like truly perfectly.
Oh yeah. I mean, like if you look at the lines, there's no gap all the way along the sides. And that's really what you want. And that's what you get with the ZXMT fairings. That's the brand you want to look for. So, Marts, all of their fairings are ZXMTs, which is injection molding, which means this plastic piece is all one piece. So everything that bolts onto that piece, it's all one solid piece. So, everything looks great. So the rear section is just about complete. Rear seat. I'm not gonna bolt it on, just gonna show you. And then,
You might seat cowl.
to top it all off, you gotta have, before we do that, I better make sure my key unlocks. Make sure I installed it correctly. Alright, so see that mechanism? Right there, when you turn the key, all it does is it pulls this ball this way and it releases these little pinchers right here. So, boom!
Ta-da!
And then unlock it. And when you put these on, if you have this kind of bike, make sure you snap it on, because one time we pulled over and got they wanted to run our license real quick, so I had my insurance down in here. I had to pull it out, and remember that? Mm-hmm. And when we pulled off down the road, I didn't snap it back on, and it fell off and got destroyed. I actually have it right over there. It's a fine memory of what not to do. So what do you think?
That is really clean.
I think she looks good.
I am so excited to see once all of this gets put on.
What do you think, Max? It's becoming a different bike.
Our end product is going to be really exciting. Really exciting, Max.
Really exciting.
Really exciting.
So
tell them how exciting it's going to be. Yes.
So let's see it real quick. So, like I said, see how tight the lines are? Alkmaar's did an amazing job. All the finish work is just like phenomenal. All the lines, the fitment, everything, just perfect. Honestly, couldn't ask for a better fitment.
Doubly clean. Except mine's ready for the GoPro and the tether for the truck. His will be too.
Alright guys, thanks for watching part 2. Stay tuned because part 3 is going to be this right here. This is probably the most exciting part for me because this is going to make the whole bike transform. As if it's not already, it's just kind of pieced together right now, but once this front section gets on there, it's gonna be the new love of my life. Sorry, babe. I'm just kidding.
You're cute.
So, huh?
You're cute.
Where did I put my keys? Oh, okay. Check it out. One last time.
Give him one drink.
We'll give it a last. One drink. So one last little overlook. We'll make sure everything's working back there before we say it's good. Got a turn signal. Got a turn signal. No front signals right now, but that's all good. Thanks for watching, guys. Part 2, part 3 is coming soon. Stay tuned, and she will be completely transformed. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Peace. Ride safe.
Look at that one drink and he gave you, and I love you. Max says, peace out, guys. Stay tuned.